Yes, welcome back to Materialize CSS. In this series we will talk about Materialize Grids. So Materialize provides a 12-column fluid responsive grid. It uses the row and column style classes to define rows and columns respectively. So the row specifies a padding-less container to be used for responsive column. This class is mandatory for responsive classes to be fully responsive, and it uses the column to specify the column with subclasses. Column have several subclasses meant for different types of screen. That is to say that it adjusts itself, or it has different classes that fit in every different size of the screen. So column defines from 1 to 12 with a width of 0.135% from each other. So we'll be going direct to our code to specify and to see how effective this works. So from our last place, I just erase everything we have, and as you can see, my browser is empty. I just adjusted it so that we see the effect. So the first thing I have to put is my div with the class of row. Div with the class of row. I create another div with the class of column. Another div with the class of column. So let me put my h1 in this place. h1, say materialize grid. So in this place I have to specify in column as class, I have to specify how it appears in every screen. So my S12 means on a small screen, which is a mobile site, it should take the full screen. In my medium screen, it should take the full screen as well. And my large screen, meaning every other screen, it should take also the 12 of it. So let me save and see how it appears. You see that it takes the full size of the screen. So let's do something in this place. Let's just try to copy this one. So I'm just going to put something in this place so that we'll be able to identify them from each other. So let's save. So you see that this one came down because what I specified this one to take the full size, and also this one to take the full size. So I'm going to adjust this now so that both of them will appear in the same size. So in the small screen, I can decide, okay, I don't longer need it to appear in the full screen, rather let it take the half of the screen, which is 6. While in the last screen as well, let it take 6. While in this one, let it take 6. While in the large, let it take 6 as well. So you can give it a column of every side you wishes. So you see the two of them now appears on the same line, because this one I specify it to take the size of 6, while this one take the size of 6. Just like I told you, the full screen is 12 column. So giving this one 6 means the half of it, and giving this one 6 means the half of it. So 6 plus 6 will now give me 12, meaning that the both of them will be able to enter the same line. Now what happens if I should put another one in this same place? Let's put another one in this place and still give it the same 6. So let's refresh our browser. You see it went down to stay, because this one plus this one will give us 12, which means the full size of the screen. So this one has to wrap to the next line automatic. But if we want the three of them to appear in the same line, that means we have to adjust the column of these upper ones. So for us to do that, we can decide to change it to 4. Change this one to 4, and we can change the last one to 4 as well. So let's change the is to 4, save and refresh our browser to see how it look like. So you see it take the size of 4. So that is for that. So why it is appearing like that is because of the size of the H1 we use. If we decide to change it to H5, you see that all of them will come back to one line, which I'm about to do as well. So this is how to specify your column on how it should appear on different sides. So you see the 3 of them has been able to appear on the same side. Okay, I can decide also that these 2 should appear to be 2 2. I can decide that these 2 should appear to be 2 2, which will give me a total of 4, and this one I can take it to be a total of 8. So it's very much possible. So you see, so this one take the full size, while this one take the size of 2 2. So let me increase this one so that you will be able to see this. So it depends on how you want it to appear. Just give it the column of how you want it to appear. So you see this one take the full of the 8, while this one's take 2 2 for the start. So we'll try to do a couple more things as it relates to this. Now you can as well put a column inside a column. So let's do something like that. Now let's try to go outside that first row and create another row. So inside this one we'll create a div with another column, a div with another column. So let's say H5, say grid column 1. So let's say M6 LA4. So let's save this. So we are plotting this. So I'm saying that inside this one also we can as well divide it. Now inside this one, it means that let's try to put something inside this one. It means that from the beginning of it also to where this one ends, it can be indicated as 12 also. So inside it, let's try to create another div of column, and we can also have our H4 in our H5 in this place. We can also have our H5 say column nesting. One if you like, I can decide to call this one M3 or M6, anyone, and LA6. That means you should take the half of that element as well. So you see, I'm able to have it inside here. So that is how to specify it as well. So let me just increase this one to be 6. Good. So I can have a column inside a column, which is very possible to do. So I'm having this column inside this particular one. So let's try to have another one inside it so that we understand what we are talking of. So nested 2, let's put this one as nested 1. Now, so this 6 plus this is supposed to give me 12, which is the full length of the screen, but in this one we are having it inside this 6. That means you have to divide this particular one into 2. So you see, this one we have this one to be 6, we have this one to be 6, because this one we are having it from year to year to be 6. So you have to divide through this one into 6, and inside this one also you can still have another element inside this. So that is how to nest your column inside a column as well. You can keep on having your column until you get to the very dying minute of it all. That is to say that you can have a column, one column inside another column. So let's use what we learned in our previous series to differentiate it. Let's try to use a background of white, a background of black in this place, or indigo, background of indigo, and in this one we can use a background of purple, so that we see their difference. So you see, so this from year to year is 6, from year to year is 6, from year to year is 12, but from this particular one to this place that it ended, let me color it so that you see it also. So in this one, let's color this one. What color should I now give to this one? Let me call it pink. Let me call this color pink. Now what this thing means is that from this place that it started from to this place is 6. Why? From this one to this place also is 6 of this, meaning that from this 6 we now divided it into 2 again, and we got this and we got this. So that is how to nest or get your column inside column. So as time goes, we will be able to understand it more deeply. Well, for now you just have to know that you can have your column inside another column. So in this thing we can decide also to just copy this one and duplicate it for us to have a perfect understanding. Let's call this one, let's change the background of this one to, let's say, blue. Let's change this one to cyan, and let's change this one to tin. So let's save it. What name did I give it to? Let me call it nested 3 and nested 4. So we can have something like this as well. So you see, we are able to have a different column inside one column, and the column 2 have different color also inside of it. So that is how to get your color, that is how to use your responsive grid. So guys, I know it might be confusing for now, but as we proceed in this tutorial we will be able to understand it more deeply. Stay tuned and wait for the next tutorial. But while waiting, just please subscribe, share and like. See you on the next tutorial.